Hello everyone and welcome to the module that we call Traffic, because traffic is the lifeblood of our business, of your business. It's, every business that's centered around squeeze pages, sales funnels, sales pages, all require traffic. And without it, well, it's like having a shop that sells the best products that everyone is searching for, and even at the best prices, but the shop is tucked away down a little alleyway and no one ever gets to see it. They go bust pretty quickly, and our sites, our sales funnels, our squeeze pages, our whole business model is reliant on traffic in the same way. Now, I feel obliged to tell you about the free methods of traffic because people always want to know them. Probably most of you have heard of the obvious ones. There are always going to be other methods of traffic. I mean, the whole traffic niche could be sort of built out to a massive course all on its own. There are you could be there are people offering courses out there that last 3 or 4 months, and charge you the earth to go through different traffic methods. There's always different ways, but these are the obvious ones, and these are the ones that you'll be most interested in. The thing I have to say to you is that even though I'm going to show you these free methods, everybody, and I mean everybody, that makes money online successfully, and I'm talking about, right at the top of the tree, the 7-figure earners, the 6-figure earners, the people that are making really good money online, and everyone all the way down who's successful, who operate through sales systems, sales funnel systems that I'm teaching you now, all make money through paid methods. They all drive their traffic, I should say, through paid methods. Now, as we've talked about before, there are ways in which you can make paid methods work for you, because not only do you get subscribers through them, but you also sometimes have a sales funnel in place that will actually cover some of the costs, if not all of the costs, and some people actually end up in profit. But paid methods is where it's at, people. That really is. I mean that as well. But anyway, let's not mess around here. Let's go straight into the free methods. Ad swaps. Now, you will have heard of that already, and ad swaps, I'm sure you've heard of it. Ad swaps are literally where you swap your email with somebody else. Basically, you would say approach me with my list, and we would just swap. I would send to your list, and you would send to my list, and obviously we'd have relevant links on each other's email. Some places like I'm trying to think of the ad swaps, safeswaps.com, I think it is. I mean, I think they charge every month, but they are quite a good area. I know a lot of people who use ad swaps there, and it is actually quite an effective way of building your list in the early days specifically. But the downside of ad swaps, I think, are more like that you're sending other people's. You don't know what your list is going to get from those other people. You have to check out the offer that they've got on the end of it, because if you're sending rubbish to your list, then you'll lose your subscribers. I've used ad swaps in the past. I've gone onto the Warrior Forum and met with people on there and kind of swapped with them. I did it for several small lists in the early days. I don't really like doing any free methods that are centered around just not knowing what the offer is going to be to my list. But I know people who've built big lists that way, and it does work. And of course, it is free. All you're doing is swapping swipe file with each other. Banking clicks, not often talked about, but this is where you would go to somebody who has a biggish list, and you would mail out for him until he had got so many clicks through, and then he would reciprocate. So if you have a small list, maybe you've only got a list of 100 people or something like that. So therefore, you go to this person who's got maybe 5,000 people, and you kind of bank 100 clicks with them. So you would send out your you keep sending out and mailing out to him until he'd had enough clicks, 100 clicks, and then he would then return that favour by mailing a portion of his list till you got your 100. Never done it myself. I know people do it all the time, and you will occasionally see in Facebook groups people asking for those kind of services. Forum signatures. Well, it's an obvious one, but actually it is the one that does work gradually and slowly over time. Now, obviously, if you are going to belong to a forum like the Warrior Forum, there are many more out there, but the Warrior Forum has the biggest amount of traffic, then you would leave a signature to your website, to your squeeze page, to your offer. So somewhere on the sales funnel, you want a link to it. And if you are contributing to one of the forums on a regular basis, people will click on it and check you out. If you're controversial or whether you're just giving good information, people will check you out. So it's a slow process. Are you going to build a business from it? No, you're not. Don't rely on forum signatures to drive masses of traffic, but a forum signature will give you some traffic, and it will be quite targeted as well, of course. It's something you should do regardless. And blogs. Well, visiting other people's blogs and leaving comments, blog hopping or blog commenting, whatever you like to call it, of course will drive the odd occasional visitor to your site. I mean, if you're really busy at it, or you get it outsourced, get someone to do it regularly for you, you'll drive a small flow of traffic to your site. There's no doubt it does work, but it's time consuming. And I mean, forum signatures and blogs, I mean, it works to a certain extent, but it's not what you want. You're not going to drive tons and tons of traffic this way. If you've got no money, do these things. Do get into the ad swaps. Do the ad swaps can actually build your list quite quickly. Forum signatures and blogs, and the article I didn't write on here, but posting articles onto the article directories and things, and having a link back to your site. Not so effective these days since the Penguin and Panda or whatever zoo updates it was that Google threw in, because the places like eZine Articles, which was the big one, kind of dropped in the rankings because of that. But it still works to a certain degree. There are other methods. I could go into a lot more, but these are the obvious ones. I mean, trying to spring to mind now. I mean, doing guest posts on other people's blogs. That can work. You can drive some traffic, especially if that person gets a lot of traffic already. But these are very time-consuming things. I didn't write on here SEO, search engine optimism. Well, of course, if you're looking at a blog, then you would have it optimized as best you can by using certain plugins. They're all free, mostly free plugins. But you can't use search engine optimism to drive stuff to sales pages or squeeze pages. That stands to reason. But these free methods all work to a certain degree, but don't let anyone tell you you can build your business through it. Now, paid methods. This is what will really drive stuff through to you. This is what will make you just go from there playing around to actually driving real traffic through a sales funnel that you've coordinated together, optimized, and you have got conversions as high as you possibly can. This is where your business really takes off. Solo ads, we've mentioned before, I'm sure you've heard of them anyway, at the very least, are the way that I drive my traffic. And a high percentage of people use solo ads to do that. And solo ads are just literally, there's lots of solo ad sellers out there. This is the difference from ad swaps in the fact this time you don't mail your list out. You just pay for a certain amount of click-throughs on their lists. Now, obviously, you want a tried and tested person, and contact me if you need to find out more about solo ads, because I can give you some Skype groups and Facebook groups and a couple of directories that do well, that I've used and I can trust. I don't use the same person all the time, because you don't want to keep mailing the same person's list, although some of these guys do have huge lists. Now, bear in mind, they do bombard their lists a lot. Some of these guys are sending out 3 mail outs a day, if not more, and they have to keep renewing their lists. So After a period of time, you can go back and use them again, because 9 times out of 10 it would be different people. But there's a variety. There's so many of them doing it now, and I guess the average price, I would say, is about $40 for 100 clicks. Most of the good ones will over deliver, and you'll get sort of 110, 120 clicks through. And if your conversions are good because your squeeze page has been tweaked until it is, and your sales funnel's all tweaked, then you can expect to take half of those as new subscribers, and of course a percentage will buy through your sales funnel. You can get cheaper solo ads, and some people do tests, and of course the more you buy, you tend to be cheaper. If you buy 500 clicks, it'll work out a little bit cheaper. I would say that that is the number one way to drive traffic to your sales funnel. E-signs, well, these are, when I say e-signs, these are newsletters online in a variety of different niches. Now, the reason I've put them there is because they kind of replace solo ads in a way for those of you who aren't actually in the IM, the make money niche. If you're in some sort of health niche or something, you can track e-sign owners down very easily. There's an e-sign directory. I think there's a charge for that, but there's lots of free e-signs, and plenty of ways of searching from Google for that. Now, if you approach these, and many of them just do solo ads anyway, and those that don't, you can approach them and ask them, would you be interested in mailing out for me? And they'll give you a charge, or in some may even do it for free. So that's just another way of getting solo ads, but to different niches. Co-reg, don't recommend it personally. It's a kind of thing like if you've ever signed up to anyone's list on GetResponse, as they ask you to confirm for the double opt-in, you'll see below it and a list of newsletters that you can also sign up to. Well, that would be co-registration. Now, it's very untargeted, really, and I know people who've built up massive lists using co-reg, and they are very, very unresponsive. I don't like it. There's several companies doing, but obviously GetResponse are one of them, and I don't recommend it personally. I think if you're in the CPA market, cost per action market, where you're putting out ads and things, co-reg maybe works slightly better. But for us targeted subscribers that we're driving down through our sales funnel, I don't like co-reg. By all means, have a look at it. It is another paid method. Facebook ads, well, Facebook's a world of their own, aren't they? They are so huge these days. They really, really are a massive, massive company now. They're like Google on their own now. They've got their own internal search engines and things. And it is a very, very good way of targeting your market, because Facebook allow you to break down into sections, so you can really narrow it right down. And I quite like Facebook ads. It's quite difficult sometimes to get an ad accepted, because the problem is that they're very sort of they have different people on their panels at different times of the days. And they don't like driving stuff to squeeze pages either, but you can get away with it. It's not breaking any rules. But the best thing is to try the ads several times at different times of the day. I've had a couple where they've been rejected, and then I've put them in the next day, sort of in the evening, whereas the other one went in the morning, and it's just gone straight through. I prefer solo ads, but Facebook ads is still a very, it's a traffic source that can work, but you can lose money on it as well. It's one of those that you've got to get used to doing it. It's almost worth, dare I say it, it's almost worth really it's worth spending time on all of these things, looking them up and really studying them. But it's almost worth buying something to learn about Facebook ads, I think, because you do have to keep up to date with it. Now, banners, you can buy banners off different people's sites. Now, if those sites are targeted to your niche and they've got high traffic already, then banners can be worth doing. It's not something I do, but I know people who do, and they still work today, although there is a lot of banner blindness these days. And that is that people have got used to seeing these banners alongside of people's blogs and sites, and they kind of tend to sort of ignore them a lot more now. So banners probably aren't as effective as they used to be. but solo ads always will be, and I'll always point you to that. Well, in the conclude, I mean, that really is it. Really, that's the traffic methods I'd like to show you. I don't, by all means, contact me and have a chat to me about any of these, and I'll go into more depth with you about them, because we really could talk about this all afternoon. And there are other methods, but these are the best. And in conclusion, literally is the fastest route. How quickly do you want to grow your business? If you want to grow your business, at a rate, if you want to start from now and in 1 month's time you want to be in there with subscribers and building quickly towards a steady income, then these paid methods are what you're going to be using. Solo ads, without a doubt. A lot of people start off with solo ads, 2 or 3 solos, get themselves up to 100, 150 subscribers, and then they move over to doing ad swaps because it's cheaper. But what those people haven't done is they haven't tweaked their sales funnel enough to make it profitable. So in other words, they're paying out, say, $40 for 100 clicks, and maybe they're only getting 25% conversion. So now they're paying $40 for 25 people on their list. Well, of course, and they're not making any sales directly. Well, I would still say those 25 subscribers are worth a lot of money down the line, because you will build relationships up with them, and they will become, some of those people will become buyers of your products, and they will become people that regularly read your emails and things. But they haven't, they've settled for what they've got, and that's not good enough. You need to keep tweaking that sales funnel, as we've mentioned before, until the conversions are high enough where you are now getting sort of like 50 of those 100 clicking in, and maybe getting a couple of sales here and there on the sales funnel as they sign up. And that's all very, very doable. It just takes time to keep tweaking and understanding what you need to change to make it better and better. And believe me, no matter how experienced a person is, when they first put a squeeze page up and a sales funnel to follow it, they start tweaking from the word go. They start just changing little things to try and get the conversions up. Everyone does it. And a lot of people forget to do that. They think they built it and they built their little funnel and they leave it at that. But that's when solo ads and other paid methods really come into their own. Anyway, I hope you got something out of that one. I hope you understand the message that paid traffic is the most important thing you can get into. And if you just spent a few days just studying paid traffic methods on its own, it would be very, very beneficial for you and your business. Anyway, thanks a lot for listening, and I'll see you on the next module.